Hey GottGamers, it's K-Wing here, and I'm back to present you with another exclusive review only for GottGame.com. For this video, we take a look at a good Transformers game for once. Long story short, I'm talking about the new Transformers War For Cyberton, the HD version of the game developed by High Moon Studios and published by Activision. Transformers games in the past have not been up to standards of having really good video games. Does War For Cybertron break the mold, or does its line of bad video games continue on? Stay tuned and watch the review to find out. The game's story takes place many years before the beginning of the Generation 1 storyline of the Transformers universe. The heroic Autobots and the menacing Decepticons have lived together in peace for centuries, on their home planet of Cybertron. However, they've become divided when the Decepticons lusted for power and try to rule over everyone. The war has gone on for so long and taken so many lives, and Cybertron is slowly becoming a destroyed utopia that will force its inhabitants to leave. Transformers War For Cybertron is a third-person shooter with action and platforming elements added in the mix. The game is divided into two campaigns where you play as the Autobots or the Decepticons. In the Decepticon campaign, you play as Megatron and his followers as they try to take over Cybertron by destroying it with the dastardly Dark Energon. While on the Autobot side, you play as Optimus Prime and his comrades as they try to thwart off Megatron's attacks and possibly search for a new home to live on. You can actually play as some of your favorite Transformers like Sideswipe from the Autobots and Soundwave from the Decepticons. Each campaign consists of 5 chapters with numerous objectives that make you go through a linear path from beginning to end. You'll fight numerous enemies on both sides, and they are all color-coded to show you which side they belong to. There are bosses in this game, but most of them only appear in the Autobot campaign. Each of them do have a final boss though, but they are the strongest of each faction, like Omega Supreme and Trypticon. If somehow the main campaign becomes a bore for you, then there is online multiplayer and escalation modes to give you a bit more variety. The multiplayer has your traditional deathmatch, capture the flag, and many other games. The escalation mode is all about staying alive against enemy waves during many rounds. The gameplay is excellent, and even though it takes a page from Gears of War, there are many weapons you can use simply by picking them up in the levels. Each weapon varies, but they can all pack quite a punch. If you're in a bigger pinch though, don't fret, because you have a melee attack to help by destroying the regular foes with just one hit. What if you want more firepower? The answer is quite simple, as you can transform into a ground vehicle or fighter jet in an instant. Hence the name of the franchise, right? Going into vehicle mode will help you reach certain destinations more quickly, or to fly over big open levels with no problem. You can go around and collect more health and ammunition as they're scattered around throughout the levels, and trust me, you will need them depending on the difficulty. As I stated before, the levels do have platforms for you to jump across to get from one area to the next, so it adds more variety to the overall levels. Finally, there are some special abilities that you can do in this game as well, and each Transformer has their own signature abilities. From the animations on the Transformers to the detail of Cybertron itself, the overall design looks very good for an HD game, and High Moon Studios successfully captured the look and feel of what the Transformers are supposed to be, as opposed to the monkeyish designs that we saw in the live-action Michael Bay movies. Cybertron even looked very nice with the atmosphere that it captured, and it had this dark, grim, and very tragic vibe to it. Still, War For Cybertron may look good, but that doesn't mean there isn't any flaws in its design. First of all, I said Cybertron looks good for the level design, but why is it that the game is linear? Cybertron is a massive planet that should be vastly explored all the way around. This type of game would have worked as a sandbox title with objectives to follow the game's story. Now that I think about it, Cybertron looks way too depressing to begin with. Maybe this is because the levels become too repetitive with the characters revisiting the same locations over and over. I'd like to see more color than just the constant look of gray, red, and purple. Secondly, why is it health is really scarce in this game, especially on the harder difficulties? Now, you do have characters that can help heal like Ratchet and Shockwave, but they aren't available in all the levels. Finally, why isn't there a duck and cover system like with most other games? When you're in a tight situation, your first instinct is to take cover from enemy fire. Not in this game. It's not like it wouldn't be hard to find debris to take cover from either. We honestly had no idea what the developers were thinking in that aspect. Aside from those flaws, War For Cyberton is oozing with a vast amount of awesome sauce. I'm serious. The first thing that will get most hardcore fans pleased about is the fact that Peter Cullen is back as the voice of Optimus Prime, from Transformers Generation 1, baby. The benevolent and commanding voice of this Autobot leader is what gives fans a strong connection not only to Optimus Prime, but the series as a whole. Besides Cullen, the developers went all out to get a lot of great voice actors for this game. They also paid close attention to the transforming noises and the world of Cybertron itself. Speaking of the sound effects, the music captures the mood of the game very nicely. You know a game is going to be epic when even Stan Bush comes back. The game looks very impressive with its visuals, especially with the animations on the Transformers when they're stationary, like the wheels on the back of Optimus Prime and of course the details on Shockwave. The transforming aspect was easy and very fun to utilize depending on the situation. The gameplay is another reason to actually enjoy this game, because it's so well done. Personally, this is just a fun game to play. The controls take a little bit to get used to, and players can play the game solo or online, and even go for some achievements if you like that kind of stuff. War For Cybertron is a great game, and it may be the best game by far in the Transformers universe. It truly establishes what the Transformers are all about, and it pays tribute to some of the older forms of the Transformers franchise, such as my childhood favorite Gen 1. With great gameplay, stellar voice work, an outstanding soundtrack, and pretty cool visuals, War For Cybertron is definitely worth checking out. So GottGame.com is proud to give Transformers War For Cybertron on the PS3, 360, and PC an 8.9 out of 10. Anyway, that definitely does it for another exclusive review for GottGame.com. Stay glued here for more reviews and other content that you won't find anywhere else. As always, this is K-Wing. My catchphrase as always is God bless and happy gaming. Thank you so much for watching, and until we meet again, gamers.